Boo. Hey YouTube, it's your beekeeper here. Look, I'm up at the mountain. Cleo's such a weirdo. She loves to stay in the mudroom here because she killed a squirrel in here. A squirrel got in here, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. So now she has a very strong prey drive. This dog likes to chase little things that run around. So I made her bed out here because she stares at the door waiting. That's right where she sleeps. And it's cold. It's cold. She's cuckoo. Right now it's just below 30 degrees here in the mudroom. Let's see what it's like outside. I'm in shorts. You don't need to see my bare belly. I just got a sweatshirt on and shorts. No shoes. Cleo, do you come outside? Come on. Oh man, it's nippy out here. Ooh, ooh. Oh, that's crispy. Let's see how cold it is. I did remember to flip up my those things, windshield wipers. Ooh. That's the best it can do. We will let it heat cycle one time. There we go. Let's see what happens. Hi, buddy. 18 degrees. It's a warm day. Ow, 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 ow. I should have probably put on shoes. My light's on. I need to put on shoes. Hold on. These rocks are poking my feet. And it's a little cold out here with the night. Woo. Woo. Hi, buddy. I'm going to let that run for a while. Oh, that's better. Come on. Let's go. Shut these guys up. Oh, it's glorious. I've been up here 6 days already. Just got away from the world for a while. I'm hoping to spend 2 weeks up here if everything goes right. We had some snow the other day. Not enough to plow. I'm not sure what day it is today. It's supposed to be, when did we get? A couple days ago, snow came in. Just a few inches. Again, not enough to push around with the plow. Oh, she's pooping. We don't need to see that. But they're expecting a big snowstorm coming the end of this week. I think today's Wednesday or Thursday, something like that. And they're talking about big snow in the next couple days. It's a beautiful day today though. Huh, Cleo? She loves being in the mudroom. Anyhow, just thought I'd see how the old mighty Dodge fired up in 18-degree weather. I should probably go put some clothes on. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. It's fine. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I'll let that run for a bit. Huh, Cleo? It's icy. Goodness. If anything interesting comes about, I'll pick the camera up again, but for the most part I'm just here to disconnect. I do have the cameras with me in case anything fun comes up, but other than that it's just a matter of kind of eating and sleeping and staying warm. You got a booger in your eye. Come here, you got a booger in your eye. Get it out. Want to go outside? It's a few days, actually no, I take it back, it's not a few days, about a week after I did that cold start video. And it's been cold. And we've had a lot of rain, and we've had snow, but then the sun comes out, we get a little bit of blue sky, and it melts the snow away. If you go on the back side of that knoll there in the shaded area, there's a couple inches on the ground. But pretty much everything that's in the sun, burr. So we're going to do a few things. I need to, let's see, it's still icy here. I need to get the truck muddier. See, it rained quite a bit 2 days in a row. It's still icy. It rained like 2 days in a row, and all the good mud I had on the truck is all gone. It's kind of cool. Kind of washed down the top. So back to the mountain I'm going to go. I need to load this firewood in. The dog is just happy to be a dog. Do something. Do something. She just loves it up here. We're, like I said, I'm about a week and a half into this trip. Signed up for a 2 weeks of vacation. And I haven't taken any video. I took that cold start video the other morning when it was like 16 degrees or something out. But this is probably why I jinxed. This is what I know this is why. We had the power out the other day for, I don't know, about 5 hours. A couple days ago we had a lot of wind, and it snowed really hard, and then it rained, and then it snowed. Power was out for like 5 hours. So I don't know if you remember. So I ran this cord in the house through a window so I could keep the 2 fireplaces going, the 2 wood stoves going that have the fan behind them. This is that generator I picked up on Craigslist several years ago. I did a video about sustainable energy, or sustainable prepping for sustainability, I think is what it was called. And how all the people that I talked to are like, yeah, I got a 10 million kV watt diesel powered quiet generator I spent $15,000 on. I could power my whole mountain. It's like, yeah, why would you want to do that? First of all, this little guy I got for 50 or 75 bucks on Craigslist. It's a 4-stroke 1,000 watt generator. In 5 hours it burned through about 3/4 of a gallon of gasoline, and it kept 2 fireplaces and a lamp going. House was warm. Cleo and I sat by it underneath the light, read a book. You know, I have that big generator back there, a big diesel generator behind this Blazer, but that thing burns fuel, you know. You don't need to run the whole house. I don't know, you gotta be fuel economy. But this is why I ruined snow for Christmas. But I did that. I put the plow on the TerraPro because I thought to myself, I said, well, snow's falling. Let's put the plow on the machine so I'm not doing it in the cold. And then that's it. This is my ghetto mountain fix to keep this rolling under. I don't know if you remember when I built this, I put these 2 angle iron pieces here. What? In an attempt to keep this blade from folding under, but they actually bent quite easily when I stress tested it. So this is just baling twine for hay. I got a whole bunch of it here because, well, that's what this property used to do. And it keeps it from rolling under. So I'm going to come up with something more clever. But again, you know, I went through all the trouble. I'm like, well, let's just really test it. So I tested that by just really pulling on it and to fold it under, and it bent the 2 pieces of metal I had there. So then I did this string thing, and then I don't need it. So that's awesome. So what are we going to do today? We're going to take this thing out. Oh, look, and I made the light. I got the light bar for it. I don't know if you remember. I made this magnetic light bar for that Gilson tractor that's back there, because when the plow is up, it blocks the headlights. And same on that tractor. When the plow is raised, it blocks the headlights. So I came up with these halogen, 10 watt halogen par 36 lights, or whatever they are. No, they're not 36. Whatever they are. I don't know. Doesn't matter. And then I just clip it into the battery there, and I had it all ready to go. And we got nothing. Cleo's exploring. So what we're going to do today is I'm actually going to put on some real boots. I'm a real boot. I got my jacket on and a knit cap because it's cold. It's cold. We're going to split some wood today. It's the old 91 Suburban. Oh, it's cold. Well, it's all relative. It's just chilly because it's like 76 degrees in the house, and then I come out here, it's freezing. I'm going to split some wood today. Actually, I need to do some work. I got so much to do. So much to do. I got to unload that wood trailer. I'm going to hook that little wood trailer up to the Terra Pro. Back the Terra Pro here with the trailer. Split wood, load it. I'm going to start a fire in the garage because I need to do some work in the garage. Yeah, and if you're wondering why I got them all out when I've got a log splitter here, if you caught on that last video when I was a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago when I was up with Skippy, we tried to bust up a bunch of logs to get ready for my 2-week trip, and we couldn't get that engine started. If you remember, I bought this for like $100, $150, something like that. The engine was supposed to be, had a rod knock or something, but it was just a dirty carburetor. But that engine is really tired, and we couldn't get it running. We sat there and messed with it for an hour, put a new spark plug in it, starting fluid, couldn't even get a pop out of it. And then we finally succumbed to getting the compression tester out and had like 40 pounds of pressure. So it's got to get rebuilt. So I pulled that Honda engine off, brought it home. It's sitting at home in my shop. And yeah, it's good times, right? If I had paid attention to that, because I knew that engine was tired. And if I had paid attention to that engine, knowing that it was tired, I would have brought it home in the summer months. But no. Now, so I got to split stuff by hand. But before we get into that, I am going to get a fire going in the garage, get some heat going in there. This is a long time project I've had sitting here for probably 10 years. Not these barrels. These are the barrels I used to bring home the asphalt sealer in, the slurry seal, top seal. These are 35-gallon plastic jugs. I'd load them in the truck. We'd go into town. And anyway, that's when we used to do the asphalt work. But so I've got a joiner and a planer that came out of a wood mill. My uncle had a sawmill up here, and he used to process boards and lumber and what's not. And back in the 80s, the thing caught fire and burned down, and he rebuilt it. And this was sitting, these two pieces of equipment were sitting in his barn, I don't know, 15, 20 years. And then he finally got to the point where he's like, I'm never going to do anything with them. Do you want them? And I'm like, yes. Because one of these years I'm going to build a sawmill. And when I build a sawmill, I'm going to need a joiner. And I'm going to need a planer. Now they're complete, less everything that got heated and burned by the fire, right? So the blades are good. This one needs new rollers. The joiner has the legs right there. This one doesn't have the edge though. So I'm going to have to figure out something for that. That's not a big deal. They both need motors. They both need wiring. This one needs new rollers. I'm going to bring this home on this trip, take it apart, restore it, bring it back up here, and use it. This had a 5-horse, 3-phase, 220 motor on it. I don't have anything that big. I don't even have 3-phase up here at the house. So I've got a 1-horse, 220 motor. I think I can get to work okay on that. I mean, this was in production, so this was just needed all the power it could get. I was tempted to put a gasoline engine on it, like a 5-horse Tecumseh, which I have. I still may do that. Then I can like use it out here in this lean-to and plain wood out here and not need heavy power. And I still may do that. I still may make it gasoline powered because this is a pretty good area to do that. You don't need much overhead space to run wood through a planer. I don't know. We're going to see. Too many projects. I'm going to get the firewood. Actually, I'm going to get the firewood into the garage, get that going. And I'll bring you back if anything exciting comes along. This old stove makes a wonderful bark burner. So many big chunks of bark in the woodshed. It doesn't matter if you make a mess out here. This is a 36-inch wide. This is what's considered the big buck. The big buck stove. Buck stove. And it was sitting in mud for a lot of years. Up to about where I don't know if you can see the rust line. And buddy was giving it away on Craigslist. as scrap metal. And well, I grabbed Skippy, and I think I only had the Suburban at the time. Oh no, I had the little white strip. Anyway, we pulled it out of the mud, brought it up here. Didn't do anything to it. We put it on bricks. Could use a coat of paint, but it's a garage burner, so what are you gonna do? Now we stuck it in the corner, cinder block on either side. It's piped up and over. Goes out through a thimble out the back side of the wall there. Oh yeah, there we go. But what's a rush is getting the temperature in here up a little bit more than it currently is. All right. Hey, man. That's rude. All right. Oops, sorry. I can pay attention here. What's going on? We're gonna run the gas out of the carburetor. We're gonna let that run to run the fuel completely out of it. It's a good little rig. Like I said, it ran flawlessly for like 5 hours under a moderate load. There's the fuel tank for the Yamasaw. We'll do that in the spring. I'm not worried about that today. This is all the tools. This was neat and clean at one point. Ooh, I feel the heat. This was neat and clean at one point in time, and then a friend passed away. We inherited all his tools. And I haven't gotten to putting everything in order here. Oh, that feels good. All right, where was I? So you guys are distracting me. These are the tarps for that 10 by 20 portable garage that we picked up a month ago, 3 weeks ago. Those are the pipe work there. The bag of all the fittings is in the garage, all the tarp. We're gonna build it in the corner of that lot to keep the sawmill out of the weather, but we just didn't get to it on that last trip, and I'm up here by myself with the dog, and I'm not going to do it this trip by myself. It's just not worth it. So we'll put that together in the spring. For now, I put a fresh tarp on the sawmill. It'll be fine. All right, why aren't you guys helping me? We're going to move this wood into that firebox there. See, Cleo's helping. You helping? Oh yeah, it's cold. Woo! All right, we'll be right back. Dog wants to go back in, sit in front of the fire. She can stay here in the mudroom. We got a couple days. Yeah, I don't know. That's 4 or 5 days worth of lumber easily, of firewood, depending on how cold it gets. Depending if I run both downstairs fireplaces. Got the little trailer swept out. All the crumbs are gonna get burned here in the garage. Tires are all topped off. I got a slow leak in that front right tire of the TerraPro. I'm not worried about that. Ran that little generator out of fuel. It's warming up a little bit. I think it might even be 30 degrees out right now. This is really nice. Oh, yes. Yes. As soon as I pull the TerraPro out, I'm going to close this garage door and see if I can retain some of this heat. But let's see how this thing will start. Turn some choke on. We'll give her a minute to warm up. We'll hook the trailer up and we'll get working. Glorious. It's toasty in here. It's probably 50 degrees in the garage right now. It's glorious. 75 in the house. Can't believe how well the fires are working today. But The beauty of ADD is you get dragged in 1,000 different directions. I haven't even split any wood yet. Put that generator away. I beat up the dog a little bit. I went down the road with that little trailer and hold on, I'll show you what I did. Close the door, keep it toasty. Cleo chased me up and down the road, but I drove the road with the quad and this little trailer, trimming the branches back from the trees, because every time I drive past I get redneck pinstripes. Especially like that, those two big pine trees there. So I just kind of knocked back the lower branches. Got a good burn pile going down by the barn. Had this crested over the top. Just clean things up, huh, Cleo? So now maybe some real work. See, that's as far as I got. I sunk the axe one time. Actually, 2 times. And then I got bored, and then I started trimming trees. Oh, and I adjusted the brakes on this. The parking brake on this is a mechanical brake. Mechanical park. It's cables that lock the back brakes up. So they were so far out of adjustment, I never really paid attention to them until I started rolling. So now that like everything's kind of worked itself in, I readjusted the front brakes. So those are good. Those grab really good. And then now the e-brake, the parking brake actually holds this thing on an incline. So I'm going to start splitting some wood. Fun times, see? You guys want to know, what do you do at El Rancho? Well, for the last week and a half, I've slept, made fires, ate, and read. And not been around the internet or social media or any of that stuff, because I just needed to detox. And then there's Cleo. All she does is chase squirrels. Yep. How buddy? She's always looking. This dog has a strong prey drive. Always looking for something to chase. You're a dork. She barks at me when I split wood, and then she steals firewood and bark, and then she beats it up. Huh. You take bits of firewood. What'd that piece of bark ever do to you? What a goober. Anyhow, just making little pieces out of big pieces. Cuckoo. Mine. That's mine. You can't have it. Mine. So silly. Gimme, gimme, gimme. That's mine. Gimme, you got boogers in your eyes. You're such a cuckoo. Come here, let me have this one. Look at her. Give me this one. I want this one. I want it. No, I want it. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. Can't have it. Gimme. That's mine. Oh. Go find another one. That's a good burner. It's fresh. It's got knots in it. She could be sleeping in front of a fire right now. But instead, she's picking the perfect piece of bark to torture. That's that dust. There you go. Her prize. Now we made a complete mess of the driveway. This is full enough for now. I will add some more to it before I drag it to the house, but I'm going to leave everything here under this lean-to. I'm going to get a broom and sweep all these things here before I keep tripping over them. Let's go check on the fire in the garage. I hear the fan. We still have a fire. Oh yeah. Ah, this is comfortable. She's a good one. Leave these here to dry out a bit. Just a junk burning bark burner. Free, dug out of the mud. And now I got all these boxes of tools and spray cans and stuff. I've inherited stuff. It's got to go on shelves, sorted, organized, some stuff deleted. You know, the projects, they never end. It is a cold and crunchy morning. Let's do this. I'm headed into town to get some supplies. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's see if the other side is not frozen. Uh-oh. Oh boy. I got down to -2 Fahrenheit last night, according to my little thing in the kitchen. Make sure we don't start this thing in gear. Let's see what it is now. It's about 8 o'clock. Oh, it's 18 degrees. I'll let that go. Let's see. Oh yeah, we got mirror defrosters too. I'm gonna let this thing warm up for a minute. Frosty, my friends. Yeah, that one's frozen. All right, well, 3 out of 4 doors are frozen shut. So we'll come back in a little bit. You gonna go outside? You gonna go pee-pee? Let's go see what we're in for today. Well, this is what we've been getting most every morning. It's about 35 degrees, and it rained and kind of slushy snowed all night. Been up here 2 weeks and no need for the plow. I jinxed myself by having the plow built in time, first of all, and then I think I jinxed myself about a little more than a week ago when I thought we had some good weather coming in, so I put the plow on the quad thinking that was a good idea, and then it just turned to rain. But just hasn't dropped below that freezing point. Kind of hovers around 34, 35 like today. Sticks on the ground for a little bit. Maybe the sun will come out today, maybe it won't. That's nothing. I'm going to start a fire in the house. So I'm not starting the house on fire, but you know what I mean. Where'd she go? Oh, she's peeing. Never mind. Yep. That has been the last couple weeks, is just kind of been this, which actually isn't bad. A little bummed out I didn't get to use the plow. Like I said, these clouds are pretty light. I don't think they're gonna produce the cold and the flakes that we need right now. It's a real wet rain, snow thing, so it's just gonna be gooey. Gooey. It's alright. We go home tomorrow. It's back to the grind. Anyhow, sorry I didn't have anything more exciting to bring you along with, but I just thought I'd let you know where I was for the last couple weeks. Just here with no internet. It's been glorious. And yeah. So we've been busy busting logs down by hand. I just backed the trailer right up in here. I split it right here with the maul. Load it in, haul it out to the house. But I have to retract this ram since the engine for this guy is at my house in the city. And I don't want to leave that ram exposed. So I just welded a piece of metal. Stick it in the Lovejoy. I don't think there's a... Oops, is that too long? Oh, no, here we go. Victory is mine! Since it's going to be a few months before I get that engine rebuilt, figure I don't want any rust developing on the ram. Wow, that's pretty awesome. So just for funs and fiddles, I'm going to leave this out here with the dampener for the Lovejoy. It took me a second. The dampener for the Lovejoy coupler, and then the 1/2-inch wrench, the 4 bolts that mounted that down to the engine plate. I have the Dodge parked under here because we've got a 100% chance of rain here in about 3 hours. And I thought to myself, I said, self bologna sauce. It's a beautiful day today. It's lovely. It's like 38 degrees. But then you look from the north, and we got some funky black clouds coming down from the north. And they usually bring, those came in within about the last half hour. Those usually bring the good stuff. So I've got things in the bed of the almighty Dodge that I don't really want to get snowed on. That planer has been out of the weather and unprotected for 30 years, and I don't need it to get snowed on and rusted up now. And then I have, I bring home spring water, so I've got 5 25-gallon jugs of water there that I filled with the spring water. Keep this chunk of plywood in the back to keep anything from just grinding up against the tank. Looks like I'm going to need a bath when I get home. And the truck's going to need to be washed as well. So, we're going to lock everything up. I think I've got enough firewood to last me. We're heading home tomorrow, of course. On the day we're going to go is the day it's going to snow. So, Cleo and I will hunker down. It's been beautiful last couple days. High 30s. And pretty much, it rained all night last night. So, between the rain and the high 30s, it took all the snow out, which is fine. It doesn't usually really get really heavy, funky here till January, February. But storms are brewing. If it gets interesting, we'll bring it back. All right. Thanks for watching. Gotta go, gotta run. See you.